Hi, I am very nervous. My hair looks kind of insane. The perfectionist in me is like, ugh. Hi, my name is Hannah and I live in Los Angeles with my husband Alex and our dog Kaboom. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I joined YouTube back in 2011 and only just started publishing videos this year as of last month. So it only took me 15 years. Back in 2010, I discovered the concept of lifestyle blogging. I happened upon my first lifestyle blog and I was just instantly drawn to the concept. There was something that really resonated with me, and yet it took a full year for me to finally have the courage to just create a blog of my own. And then a month later, I joined YouTube because I think that was another medium that really appealed to me. And then I would say probably for the last at least 7 or 8 years, I've wanted to vlog. I really enjoy watching vlogs. And I would say for at least the better part of the past decade, I've wanted to start vlogging and posting to YouTube, but I just have not been able to find the courage to do so. I think the main reason is probably the fact that I really struggle with looking at myself. I'm appearance avoidant. I really struggle with the concept of being perceived, which is funny because I am drawn to the concept of sharing my life, but then I'm a private person. I really can't explain it. I don't know exactly why. I think if I had to guess, it's probably just because I'm a visual person and I'm creative, and so I think I'm naturally drawn to anything that's creative and that works with a visual medium. I think that's why I really was into lifestyle blogging, and then naturally vlogging is just connected to that. It's another version. I really struggle with looking at myself. I avoid mirrors. I avoid having my photo taken. I really do not like having my photo taken, and I've missed out on many photos over the years because I just cannot bring myself to look at photos of myself. I've always been very self-conscious for as long as I can remember, ever since I was really young. It definitely has led to me missing out on certain experiences because I've really held myself back, and it's taken up so much energy, like so much of my life force, so much of my time here on earth has been spent just worrying about how I look and how people see me. And it is difficult being a visual person and being a perfectionist, because it is then very difficult to then at the very least be neutral about how I look, because I have such a high standard for myself with my perfectionism and being a visual person, naturally caring about the aesthetics of things, unfortunately. You know, I love design, I love art, I love beautiful things, I love curating and surrounding myself with beautiful things and finding myself in beautiful places. But then I wish that I could just sort of like turn off that part of my brain when dealing with my appearance. And I wish I just like didn't care. So I have a lot of anxiety surrounding my appearance and avoiding looking at myself. And of course the avoidance leads to additional anxiety. Like the more you avoid something, the more anxious you're going to be about the thing that you're avoiding. So it's this vicious cycle. I've always been drawn to YouTube and the concept of creating videos, but I think what also I feel like will be potentially something really good about this is that it is going to be a version of exposure therapy, essentially, where I am getting in front of a camera, I'm filming myself, I'm then gonna have to edit this, which is gonna be truthfully hard for me. It's gonna, like, if you are watching this on YouTube, I probably have been through it. And I think if this goes up on YouTube, that's a huge accomplishment. It was a big deal for me to even upload a video on YouTube, even without being in front of the camera. I, have always taken photos. I've always been really into photography. I'm completely self-taught, total amateur, but I really enjoy it, especially when I travel. I love to have photos as souvenirs, and I love creating albums and looking back at my travels. I just really love it. But that is a medium that I'm very used to. I'm not used to taking video, and I am not on any other social media platform where I'm creating content. So I'm not used to creating TikToks or Reels. So I'm not even used to doing vertical video. So I think it is going to be difficult for me. It has been to remember to press record and to not just take photos. And then it's obviously going to be a struggle to film myself. And we're just starting with this video. I think it was a big deal for me to get around to just posting my first video. My first video was published May 1st, which was a Friday. And I've decided to post every Friday, so I've posted every Friday since. So I have 7 videos in total now on my channel. This is hopefully going to be video 8 if I do in fact end up being able to get through the editing process and feel like I can post it. I think that just starting with the initial videos where I started filming a year and a half ago, so in the beginning of 2025, because it's now June of 2026, I started trying to film video with the intention of making YouTube videos. So that started the beginning of last year, essentially. The first video I published was from a family vacation to Kauai in January of last year. And actually the first video that I edited was our Hawaiian trip from this year. We went to the Big Island. That was from January of this year. And so I just edited that video and then decided I wanted to start publishing the videos in chronological order. So I went back and put together a video for Kauai, and then Yosemite was another trip from last year. And then I had a lot of footage from being out and about in LA. But while it was like a lot of footage to put together in a video that's just set to music, so it was a lot of B-roll, I think like over 13 minutes, and it's like very short clips. That's Kaboom. The video that I took was just from like a handful of days. So there's like large chunks of last year where I just like forgot to pick up the camera. I didn't film anything. But essentially I just decided to take all the footage that I had from 2025 and just put it into a video. So the videos that I've been posting so far, I've been referring to as vibey videos. At least, you know, to myself, that's what I refer to them as. Essentially, it's like my version of the overall vibe of a place. It's just clips set to music. So it's just like B-roll montage set to music, essentially. And ultimately, what I hope to do is pivot to vlogging and still have those vibey videos incorporated into my vlogs, but then include talking heads like this format right here, you know, being in front of camera. So to have it be this hybrid to combine the A-roll with the B-roll. And I think it was just like too much for me to do that straight out the gate. And so I had to kind of have like a slow start and sort of a gentle start where I'm like easing into it. Yeah, at a certain point I just was like, okay, well, the whole plan is to vlog. Like that's ultimately what I want to end up doing, at least trying. Maybe I try it and it's a nightmare and I really don't enjoy it, but I want to try it. It was even a little too daunting for me to put together like a full vlog. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna sit in front of the camera and I'm just gonna introduce myself and just try to get through that and hopefully be able to like edit it into a video that I can post and feel good about. And then we'll go from there. I'm thinking about the rest of the year, and I think that as much as I love the vibey videos, I do want to talk through some things. And I love vlogs because it is that hybrid. Like I enjoy hearing people talk about things and then seeing what they're up to through their eyes with them behind the camera, but having that balance. The thing with my lifestyle blog that I had it for, I wanna say like at least 5 years. Ultimately, I very, very rarely put myself in front of the camera. So the photos that, because I would have paragraphs just sort of talking about what I was up to, and a lot of times it was just sort of blurbs underneath photos. The hybrid of the written format of blogging combined with photos and being able to see what people were doing in addition to reading about it. Video is just even more intimate in that you really are in the thick of it because you're seeing it play out, and so you don't have these stills, these snapshots that can be more curated, and I found myself kind of hiding behind that, where even though I love photography, I love taking photos, I love being behind the camera, I think I was very much hiding behind the fact that I could just post photos that I had taken and not have to kind of be in front of the camera. And yet the content that I probably gravitated toward the most were the blogs that were very personal, where people were in front of the camera, including a lot of photos of themselves, because you really then feel like you're getting to know someone. But it's like not surprising, I think, that for someone who is appearance avoidant, that I would just kind of go with the option of like staying behind the camera as much as possible. And I kind of deep down knew that I should be putting myself out there more. And I should have been, you know, if I really wanted to be sharing my life, that I had to include myself in my life in the photos that I was putting out there a little bit more. Because again, it's like I guess I just wasn't completely entirely creating content that I would love. I think I just always wanted to go full out and to kind of create the content that I love so much, that I loved consuming. And I was just too scared. You know, I just didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the courage. I just felt like I held myself back when I had a blog, and I didn't really put myself out there. I think with YouTube, if you're gonna vlog, you really do have to put yourself out there. I feel like I have to create the type of content that I consume. Like the content that resonates with me the most is what I hope to make myself. I need to make the content that I want to see. I think that for me, this is just something that I've been drawn to, that I've sort of like weirdly felt called to do in a way. I don't know, I think that I have to kind of follow my joy, like, you know, something that I find interesting and that makes me feel joy. I feel like I have to take that as a sign and lean into it. Like I have to follow my joy. And I can't completely explain it, but I just feel like this is something that I should try. So I'm sitting in front of a camera, and yeah, so I've just used YouTube to view videos. I haven't used it to create and share videos of my own until now. I'm hoping that this journey that I am embarking on will help me prove to myself that I can do hard things. Because it might not seem difficult, but it's an understatement to say that this is like one of the most difficult things I've ever done because of how much anxiety I have around it. I feel like I truly cannot overstate how much anxiety I have around my appearance, my body image. My self-confidence has always been so poor, and I really have over time, like, this is something that has taken decades to work through, and I still have a lot of work to do. I'm hoping that this YouTube journey will help me continue with the work, and this format of talking to the camera, filming myself, being in front of the camera, it's incredibly daunting. I also am really proud of myself because a lot of the times, like, if I can't do it all the way, then I won't do it, in the sense where it's like, well, if I can't do it perfectly, then what's the point? You know, I very much struggle with RSD. If you're not familiar, RSD stands for rejection sensitive dysphoria. I also struggle with being perceived, just like being anxious about being perceived and not really wanting to be perceived despite wanting to vlog. Make it make sense. I can't explain it. I don't know. I don't know. The perfectionism is something that I think is just like ingrained in me. I don't think that I will ever be able to truly leave that behind. I think that that's just like embedded in my DNA, unfortunately. I think there are times when it certainly has its benefits. Then there are times where it just keeps me from living my life, which is pretty serious. It's pretty debilitating in that sense. But yeah, this mindset of like, oh, if I can't do it perfectly, if it's not going to be perfect, then what's the point? So there's so many times where I just keep myself from acting on the thing because I know that it's not going to be perfect, and I don't even want to try, which is so problematic because perfection is not realistic. It certainly is not sustainable. Even if it is attainable, it is very fleeting. It is very brief. It's not sustainable. And when I envision what having a YouTube channel would look like, I always saw myself vlogging. Like, that's when I sort of like think about being on YouTube. It's always vlogging. That's the format. And so that would be going from 0 to 60 all of a sudden, after completely like avoiding looking at myself, avoiding mirrors, avoiding photos, definitely video, to just then like all of a sudden start filming myself and having to look at that footage to put a video together, and then putting that video on a public platform for public consumption where potentially people who I don't know personally are gonna look at it. And that's kind of the whole point. I really can't explain why I'm drawn to it. I'm drawn to the thing that terrifies me the most. I'm drawn to something that's gonna be like exceedingly difficult for me to do because of all of my anxieties and hang-ups and mental blocks, things that I struggle with and have struggled with for most of my life. The idea of me just like putting a video out, and when I had envisioned vlogging from the start, right? And having my first video be my first vlog. And then realizing that that's just gonna be too much too soon, that I just wanted to start sooner as opposed to later. I didn't want to keep pushing the start date, and I just wanted to have a video up. The idea was once I had one video up, that it would be a little bit easier to then have a second video and then a third. And that truly has been, in fact, the case. I found that it was incredibly daunting to publish my first video, but by the time I published my first video, I already had a few videos edited because I was using footage from the previous year. So that, you know, that was challenging, and yet I made it attainable for myself to like meet that goal. So my goal was May 1st, I'm gonna publish a video. By the time I started publishing, I had my first 5 videos. I had all the content already filmed, just sort of like waiting for me. So I was just having to edit the footage that I already had, but then beginning with my Roses at the Huntington video, that I created once I had started posting on YouTube, like once I had already published a few videos, and then I knew I had 5 weeks worth as I was putting the videos together, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I need another video. Like Friday's gonna roll around, I need another video. And my whole kind of plan was after the first 5, I was then gonna do a first vlog. And again, that seemed too soon. I went east, which is when I filmed the Catskills video, and I just decided I won't put myself in front of the camera just yet. I'll wait until I come back and I will go from there. Yeah, so here we are. And yet, again, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to put my first vlog together. Immediately overwhelmed, and like, I'm then just gonna stop posting, because that's just like, there's no way. I didn't feel like I had enough footage to get something together. I realized that I was gonna have to film new stuff. Which is inevitably what I will have to do if I continue to make videos and I'm vlogging. Then it's just my life as it happens. Just the idea of going from my vibey videos to then starting to vlog, I kind of needed a little bit of a bridge. Like I just needed a stepping stone, and this is my stepping stone, this sort of like introductory video where I think it really, I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know what I've said, what I haven't said. I'm just talking to the camera. It's all about just like talking to the camera. And if this is horrible, this isn't gonna go up on YouTube. If it is horrible, maybe it will still go up on YouTube, because that would be sort of subjective. I don't know. You tell me. How many times can I say I don't know? I've really wanted to have a YouTube account. That was the easy part. I created it 15 years ago. The hard part is actually creating the videos and starting to post and get in a rhythm. I'm about to lose battery. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my gosh, the battery is about to go. So I have had to stop and restart countless times at this point since I began filming. I've had to reposition the camera stand. I've had to replace the battery because the battery died. So camera also just like stopped recording at a certain point, and so I don't know if there's like a maximum amount of time that it'll record for, and then it'll just stop, it'll give up. It was done with me. At this point, like in terms of continuity, I feel like it's gonna be all over the place. I truly don't remember what I've said and what I wanted to say but have forgotten to say. I feel like I've just like blacked out and I've just been maybe dissociating a little bit and just like blabbing to the camera and not completely aware of what I've said. And yeah, so this is a great start, a strong start, where it just feels like a mess, but it's my mess. And thank you for watching it. Thank you for making it this far. I am probably sitting editing this being like, this is a disaster. This truly is a disaster. What was I thinking? I'm gonna try to, I've mustered up the courage to film myself and to sit in front of a camera and to talk to you today, knowing very well that I'm going to have to review this footage and I'm going to have to edit it, and I'm gonna have to then take the video that I've hopefully been able to edit and not like throw the footage into the sea. Hopefully you're watching this video, my 8th YouTube video, where I finally get in front of the camera. I honestly can't believe that I just am finally doing it. The next step is then setting up a tripod and going about my chores and like filming myself doing things. I feel like if anything, maybe that is even harder. We'll see. I feel like a vlog is a little bit more complicated than just sort of like a sit down chatty video like this. We'll kind of see how that fares. But yeah, I started filming video last year. I started also filming home content. I practice yoga every morning first thing when I get up, and so I would like roll my yoga mat out and then just not film myself doing yoga. Certainly not. that would be too much. Have not gotten there yet, but I at least have filmed my yoga mat. Not myself on my yoga mat, but just my yoga mat. So I have like a lot of just sort of morning routine stuff where it's like my breakfast and the bed after I make it. Riveting content that I truly genuinely enjoy watching. I love the cozy, mundane home content vlogs where it's just like someone puttering about their home. I love it so much. That's some of my favorite content to watch. But I then also love travel content. So I think with my channel, what I really would love to do is sort of have this hybrid of home content and then going out into the world. Please follow along. Join me on this journey that hopefully isn't short-lived. Hopefully this isn't a one and done. Like, she got in front of the camera and she never returned. She never came back. Yeah, let me know what you think, but please be gentle. Remember RSD. Did I mention the RSD? Please be kind. Hopefully in my next video, you are seeing me vlog. What a thought. And if not, maybe it's another vibey video. And then you will have known, okay, well, she is still recovering. She flew a little too close to the sun. She needs a moment. But hopefully one day we'll get to that vlog. Hopefully sooner rather than later. And now that I'm putting it on the internet, I kind of have to follow through on it. Yeah, until then, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you can. Leave a comment. I haven't received a comment yet, so that would be really exciting. And of course, subscribe if you want to follow along and join me on this journey as I hopefully create more videos. Again, I have no idea how I'm gonna end this video, and I keep saying, like, referring to things that I've said, and I'm probably gonna edit it in a way where like you're gonna be like, well, you didn't say that in the first place, why are you saying it again? Anyway, I've tried to end this thing multiple times now. I have no idea how to. I don't know how to sign off. So just thank you so much for watching. Until next time. This is Kaboom, and this is where he's been for most of the time that I was just recording. And yes, he only has 3 legs, and he's perfect. I love him so much. Oh my gosh, he's a baby.